let's go back to Package Explorer here. Can we just create a new class? Let's say new and class. Yeah. All right, let's call this initial array. Let's say uninitialized array. Maybe too difficult for you to type, right? Initial array, that's easier. Initial array, that's much easier. And with the main method. And finish. Okay, initial array. The only thing I want to do is this. If I say integer array IA is assigned to new integer array of size 5. If I do this, okay, that's an array of size 5. So far we have not assigned any particular values to the integer array. That's what we have done so far. Okay, so now let's see how we can continue. So now, in the case of the string arrays, we say that if the contents are unknown, they will simply be null. That's what we said before, right? Have you been curious about what about if the integer array, the values are unknown? Well, what would then be, right? Let's try. Let's just do a loop here for integer I is assigned to 0, I less than ia.length, I plus plus. System.out.println IA of at position I. Okay, let's say we do that. Let's see what kind of value or printout we will get. Okay, let's try. 0. Okay, that's something I'll also talk about a little bit later. But for now, so 0 is something called default values. Okay, default. For integers, you just get 0, which means that's unknown. Okay, and for strings, you also get null. That's null for strings, and also get 0 for numbers. Okay, which means if you didn't assign anything to integer, it would just be 0 by default. Okay, that's kind of just the Java convention. Okay. So now let's try another one here. Let's say after this loop here, if I assign integer if I say IA is assigned to at position 0, it's assigned to 23. Let's say 12. IA at position 1 is assigned to be 24. So now you can see that the first and second positions there got concrete value 12 and 24. But for the rest, still 0, 0, 0. Okay, let's make sure it's the case. So can we just copy this loop here and paste it here? Okay, what you will see is 12, 24, 0, 0, 0. So the 0, 0, 0 here, they are not really values that you actually entered to store. They are simply the default values for the integer array, default values. So you got to be very careful when you're doing this. So that's why I want to go back to the example there. Can we just go back to the array example? Array. Let me just make some comments for you. Okay, you can say when an integer array is first created, all values are default values, which is 0. Just 0. Just default. That's what Java does for you. Okay? Nothing you can control. But you need to be aware of that. Okay, let's go back to array facilities. Now I would like to try the following. Okay? Let's say we have a new problem for you. New problem. We want to know if all the integers the user has entered so far are odd numbers. Are odd numbers odd? Odd number, we know that it's actually modulo 2 would be 1, right? i.e., if you do modulo 2, that will give you 1. That will be an odd number. If all all the numbers are odd. Now, let's try this, okay? Can we just copy, for example, version 4? Any of the versions, okay. Version 1, version 2, version 4. Just don't copy, version 1, 3, and 4 is okay. Just don't copy version 2. That one doesn't work, okay? Let me say I copy version 4 and modify that a little bit. Okay, so far, rather than positive, I can say so far odd, right? So far odd, which means as soon as I find out there's any even number, I'm going to exit, right? And then so far odd, I'm going to replace that over here. So I'll say numbers I modulo 2 equals 1. And so far odd over here. So you can see here, odd numbers odd. So far odd. Now make sure you fix that, okay? I'll wait for you. And now, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask the user to enter how many numbers you want. I'll say, let's say 5. And then, you're going to create an array. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 numbers, maximum. And somehow the user is going to enter 2 numbers only. Let's say they enter 13 and 15. They are both odd. So you would expect this loop to tell you true, right? You would. But let's see what happens. Okay. How many numbers do you want to process? Let's say 5. Enter a number, let's say 13. I want to continue, and then 15. I do not want to continue. So you can see so far, the numbers I enter are odd numbers only, 13 and 15, right? Only 2 numbers, they are both odd, okay? So the answer should be true, they're odd. But let's see what happens. Sorry, I should have commented out before. Let me do this before I show that. Okay, can we just comment out version 4 as well? I want to make it clean for you on the console. Comment out version 4. Comment out version 3. And I believe version 1, comment out version 1 as well, please. Okay, I will make it clean for you. Version 1, okay, so we only get the odd number check. Okay, let's try again. How many numbers? 5. First number, 13. I want to continue. 15. I do not want to continue. I would expect true, because 13 and 15 are both odd. However, it gives me false. You see, why would it give me false? I heard, okay, that's kind of what I want to hear. 0, why? Why would we compare 0? There's no 0 here. Only 13 and 15. The initial value is 0. So let's see what's wrong here. So let's fill in the gap over here. We say that to be more precise, initially, when we first created this array as I illustrated, everything would be 0 as default values for all the slots, right? And then we enter the first number as 13, and the second one is 15, right? And now let's have a look at our loop over there. Our loop over here says the following. It says we're going to stay as long as I is less than numbers.length. Numbers.length is 5, which means we might also check this kind of slot over here. We shouldn't check, because if we only enter 2 numbers, you should only check these 2 numbers. You should not check the 0, 0, 0 here, because they are not known yet. So that's a logical error. So now let me just point out print statement for you to convince you. Okay? Can we just do what we did before? Okay. So so this is a system out of print line to check. Okay, we'll do that. Just copy that line there. You put it there. All numbers are, oh sorry, not here. Beg your pardon, not that one. Can we just go back to version 3? Okay. This is what we want to print out. System out of print line comparison. Let's use that. Okay. Comparison there from version 3. I'll put it here. Comparison, that will be modulo 2 equals 1. Okay. So numbers modulo 2 equals 1. Let's see what kind of comparison we did, right? We should expect only the comparisons of 13 and 15 are done, but somehow it's not the case, right? Let's see why. Let's try that, and then again, how many numbers? We can say we have 5 numbers. Enter a number, let's say 13, continue, 15, not continue. You can see somehow it does 3 comparisons, right? It does 0, 1, and 2. You find that 0 here is actually not odd, but this 0 here is not what we entered. So that shouldn't be considered, should it? Right? So the problem is really this. Okay? It's also a very important logical error that you should really avoid. The problem is really about the upper bound, about the for the loop counter, because somehow we say that maximum we can enter 5 numbers, but we have only entered 2, right? So somehow the upper bound for the loop should not be 5 anymore. Should not be 5. Should be something else. Right? So now what should we change that into? That's why it's really good. Maybe back to Sean's question. It's really good to keep some separate counter in this case. Remember, we actually got a counter. I'll show you that. We got a counter called numbers entered. Why don't we use that one? So now in this case, numbers entered will be just 2 because we have entered 2 numbers. So that will be incremented from 0 to 1 and 2, right? So let's try that. So that's the fix. Copy that, and let's go to, rather than, I'll make a comment for you in a moment. This was what you should do. Numbers entered. You can see just by changing what you check, that can really change the result. So that's why I said in the beginning of the course, syntax error is no longer your enemy. Logical errors are. Okay, once we get to this point. Okay, now I'll put the comments for you. Do not put I less than numbers.length as the state as a state condition, because numbers entered may not fully occupy the array. Right? Hopefully that'll be understandable. Okay. So now we just run one more time and make sure it works, and then that'll be it for this example. And I'll give you new ones. Okay, still have a few minutes to try. But I think we talk about maybe some more details today for this example here. So please make sure you study. You will not be covered on Thursday, but maybe covered later. Right? So you better study now than later. Okay, let's try. How many numbers? 5. Enter a number. Let's say 13. I want to continue. Yes, 15. Don't want to continue. So now it will be true. You can see now this time we do 2 comparisons only, right? Because now changing that upper bound to numbers entered, which is 2, is going to make sure we don't really compare those unoccupied slots in the array, right? That's a lesson. I think that's the most important logical error to learn today. So kind of just come out at the end. Any questions? It's not that easy. Study that. You've got trouble, come to me. Right? It's not easy. Okay, so now I'm going to stop the recording here. I'm going to give you some new exercises